So we got to the end of the year and you know what time it is, right? Christmas? Yes, but no. It's time to look back and rank the best anime of the year. There's nothing more important than this task. A couple of weeks ago, I ranked the best waifus of the year. It was a hard task, but I trained for it and was able to accomplish the job. My name is Giyeh, and I make videos talking about anime, so yeah, subscribe. When I was making the list, I was trying to make a top 10, but I noticed that there were a lot of second, third, or even fourth seasons from popular anime that I couldn't leave out. It's genuinely been a great year for us anime fans, and for the sake of giving newcomers a chance, I narrowed it down to the top 15 anime of the year. A little unconventional, but let's roll with it. At number 15 we have Shadow's House. According to my anime list, it's a slice of life, but it's not. Honestly, it feels more like a mystery or even a thriller. The show takes place in a house where shadow nobles live. They don't have a face, but they have living dolls that work for them and represent them as their faces. It has great characters, one of the best ending songs in anime history, and it keeps you wondering, what are they? The ending is a little lackluster. It's an anime original ending, which I never agree with since I want to see the original work from the author, but it's still good enough. The second season has been announced and I recommend everyone to at least give it a try. At number 14 we have Komi-san, an anime about a popular girl in high school that can't communicate with anyone. It's still airing while I'm recording this video. It's a wholesome slice of life, it has amazing music, and her little communication strides make me feel happy. I would specially recommend the show for people that like slice of life, because I can understand why it may seem a little boring for some people. At number 13 we have Osama Rankin. Similar to Komi-san, the protagonist Boji doesn't talk, but it's because he's deaf. So he tries with all his might to communicate, but he can't. It's one of the most emotional anime that I have seen from this year, and it could be higher up on the list. It will have 23 episodes and we're not even halfway through. The adventure is just starting and it has gotten even better in the last couple of episodes. Some of the things that have happened are way more than what I was expecting, and I hope it keeps getting better. At number 12 we have Odd Taxi, a story about a walrus that gets caught up in the disappearance of a cat. For those of you that haven't watched the anime, you may be confused, but for some people, it's the best anime of the year. And don't get me wrong, even though I put it in 12th place, I still love it and think it's super unique. I would actually say that it has one of the best stories we've ever seen in anime, but I like some others a little bit more. It feels completely different from any other anime I have seen, from the art style to the storytelling. It's honestly a must watch, and the story was able to end nicely in only one season. At number 11 we have the second season of the Quintessential Quintuplets. I'm sure a lot of you have watched the show, but if you haven't, it's a love story about 5 identical sisters and their tutor, who is the main character. On the first episode of the show, we see him marrying one of them, but we don't know which one. If you like romance, this is the show for you. And also, one of the sisters was my number 1 best waifu of the year, so just because of that, I had to add it to the list. At number 10 we have Non Non Biyori Non-Stop, the last season of one of the best slice of life anime ever made. It honestly made me emotional knowing it ended, because it's super underrated and it never got the attention it deserved. I made a video talking about it, and I still think it's also one of the funniest anime ever made. It's just the daily life of a group of girls that live in a town in the middle of nowhere, and they try to have fun with what they have. I love it, but once again, it's a slice of life, so it might be a little boring for some of you guys. At number 9, we have ReZero Season 2. I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the first season. I know, that's an insane take, but even so, the second season continues being amazing. We got a conclusion to the Sanctuary arc and it was great. I know pretty much every single one of you has watched the anime, so you already know how great it is. At number 8, we have Tokyo Revengers, an anime about a group of middle schoolers that look 30 years old, drive bikes, have supersonic kicks, and am I missing anything? Oh yeah, the main character can travel back in time. It's weird saying it, but it's a time travel story. The main character has to go back in order to save someone. And even though time travel can be a little confusing, Tokyo Revengers just works. Although I truly think Takemichi is the most useless character in anime history. The secondary characters are some of the best I've ever seen. Draken, Maiki, Kazutora, Baji, Chifuyu, and Takashi. All of them have the drip I wish I could have, but sadly I don't. And yes, they are like 14 years old, but it doesn't feel like it. So don't let that distract you from the fact that it's a great show. At number 7, we have the second season of Tensura. I'm conflicted with this one, because honestly, if we just take into consideration the first half of the season, this would be my favorite anime of the year. But I thought the second part was a little bit worse. Still good, but not as good as the rest of the anime on this list. Even so, the first part had some of the best moments I've ever seen in anime. The ascension to Demon Lord was the coolest thing I have ever seen. And honestly, in general, Tensura is my favorite isekai. I have always had a soft spot for the show. And yes, I'm a little bit biased. I know the story is not as great as some others from the list, but I like it so much that it made it in. At number 6, we have To Your Eternity, the anime that made me cry the most this year. It's the journey of an immortal orb that transforms into the things he sees. Well, it's more complicated than that, but it's a story about this thing developing emotion and becoming practically human. The story is told in segments of his life, the experiences he has with the people he meets. The last arc was a little bit weaker than the rest, but trust me, just watch it and you will cry. At number 5, we have Wonder Egg Priority, a story about mental health mixed with great fights, visuals, and a weird fantasy world. Now, I know the last episode was kinda trash, and most people started hating the show, but we can't deny that most of the show is great. Well, even better than great, it could have been the best anime of the year, but it had some problems and hopefully we'll get a second season so the show doesn't end like that. At number 4, we have Higahiro. And I know some people hate it, especially the people that only watched the first episode, because I agree it feels kinda creepy. It's pretty much the story of a girl who's a high school student that ran away from home. She stays with random men and basically pays with her body. The premise is super creepy, even disturbing since it's something that probably happens in real life. But even so, the main character is a guy trying to change her and make her find the right way. Yes, it's technically a love story, but nothing happens while she stays with him, and it's just honestly beautiful. At number 3, we have Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1. What can I say about Attack on Titan that you don't already know? Well, nothing. It continues being great, and trust me, part 1 was just a build-up for what's about to go down in just a couple of weeks, and you don't want to miss it. Many of you have probably read that the ending is bad, but I'm one of the few people that enjoyed it and thought it was decent. So try to form your own opinion after you watch it. I will probably make a video later on talking about the ending, so stay tuned. Number 1 and number 2 could honestly be interchangeable, since I think both of them are the best of the year, and I can't decide which one I like more. So let's start with 86, a story in which a country has autonomous mechs that are fighting a never-ending war. We find out in the first episode that the mechs are not autonomous and their pilots are the people called the 86, people that were cast out from the country and are not even treated as humans because they were born with hair that's not silver. It has a similar vibe to Attack on Titan, and it has seriously blown all my expectations away. The studio has had a lot of production problems, and the second part of the season has been having a lot of delays. Even so, the quality remains the same and it's incredible. I actually liked the first part a little bit more, especially because of the relationship between Melisse and the Spearhead Squadron. But part 2 has Frederica, so it's all good. So yeah, just watch it and see for yourself. Lastly, we have Mushoku Tensei. And yes, I know that it's controversial and some people hate the show, they hate Rudius, and they hate everything about it. But come on, after episode 10, yes, this is probably the best anime of the year. I can understand all the problems that some people have with the anime, but don't let it distract us from the amazing world building and storytelling that's been going on. Yes, it has some ecchi which could be uncomfortable for some people, but it's genuinely an amazing isekai that everyone should watch. I can't wait to see where it goes because it's definitely going in the right direction, and it could be a modern classic that will be talked about for many years. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Giyeh, and I make videos talking about seasonal anime, my personal favorites, and sometimes waifus too. So make sure to like and subscribe for more. This will be my last video of 2021. Of course, I just started a couple of months ago, and I want to thank everyone that has supported me. For 2022, I will continue making videos and try to make them better. It has been a lot of fun and I want to continue doing it. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, later.